Hello, hello. Welcome to what you've all been waiting for since back in May. And this is the Hedera AI Agent Bounty Wrap-Up. We're wrapping up our 5-week bounty program. We've had a bit of a break in order for us to take some time to thoroughly look over a lot of these entries. And we're really excited to wrap it up today and announce our 5 winners plus our bonus bounty winner. My name's Lindsay Walker. I am the product manager for Hedera AI Studio. We are an incubator that is part of the Hedera network, where we are working on products related to distributed ledger technology in the Hedera network and AI. I think we can announce a couple other people as well.
GM. Thank you, Lindsay, for opening up the show. My name is Narb. I work with Lindsay and Peter on the AI Studio team. I'm a solutions architect here. And we had the pleasure of looking through all the amazing submissions that you all did for this hackathon. And just to let you know, it was very, very difficult to pick a winner. So kudos to all that were involved. Peter, handing the mic off to you.
Hi everyone, GM, and nice to see or be here again. So yeah, like Nab and Lindsay said, the entries were amazing. So thank you very much for all of your hard work. And I would say the entries were amazing. The feedback was also amazing. So yeah, congratulations to everyone.
Yeah, overall 116 total submissions. Almost 100 pieces of feedback to help us improve our AI Studio SDKs and tooling. So let's start to talk about what we're wrapping up. All right. So what was the focus of this and why did we do it? I think earlier this year, maybe it was 2025, the emergence of tools like OpenClaw made us realize what's possible and what's missing as AI agents more and more come to the front of everybody's attention. With OpenClaw kind of showed us how we can kind of have this always on, always thinking agent that can take over more and more complex tasks. We'll have long running agents that can make decisions and carry out tasks over hours, days, and even weeks. What that also means is that AI agents can start to become commercial actors. They will buy, sell, trade, create futures and create other value in ways that humans previously couldn't. However, in order to enable AI agents to work effectively and truly autonomously over a long period of time, you need to make sure they can take commercial action and that they have the tools to do that. So that was sort of the inspiration for this hackathon. I really enjoyed seeing everybody's creative ideas and things that I don't think any of us would have thought of. That's the great thing about hackathons is we get to sort of crowdsource everybody's ideas. And we saw a lot of really neat things, which we're going to talk about today with some of the winners. I just want to go over a few things first. We try to be very transparent about what we require and then sort of how we graded each one of these. We had a really strict rubric. We had a team of 5 different developers looking at all these projects, and then we came together to look over and make decisions about which was the best ones. But there were some really hard qualifying requirements, and some people might have a question, say, hey, I submitted something, but it didn't show up on that page. I did try to email people via our group email if we noticed something small was missing. For example, we knew you did a really good entry, you worked really hard on it, but you forgot one of our qualifying requirements, which is that either you have a live AI agent or you posted a video on X. And if there was something small, we tried to email people, and a few people got back to me and were able to qualify themselves with that. So we have to have read these terms and conditions, though. There's some qualifiers where you have to be in a certain region, and you have to be 18 years of age, et cetera, in order to qualify for that. So make sure that you read that, and the bounties kind of depend on that as well. And then teams can participate. However, the way that we're running this, we're only going to work with one authorized representative, and we'll only be dispersing to that one authorized representative. Here were our sort of our qualifiers. One, we have to have a public GitHub repository. Some people forgot to make it public. I emailed them and they brought it back up. And then it's really important that you have that commit history that demonstrates what you did over the week. Now, for this hackathon, which is different than others, we didn't require that the whole platform be made within the bounty timeline. However, you had to have added meaningful AI agent kit functionality or used X402 or MCP. You had to have a public demo. That could be one of two things. You had to post a video on Twitter, on X, that shows your AI agent in action, and it also tags the Hedera Twitter handle. Or you could have a website where you're publicly hosting your AI agent, which we love to play around with. We also asked that you gave us one piece of feedback via a GitHub issue. Tell us about what did or didn't work, or what you liked or what you didn't like. And we got almost 100 pieces of feedback, which is amazing. Gave us a lot of work, but it also means that we're able to make better tools. And then we had the submission form where you had to have all these things like a name, project summary, etc. So if something was missing that was relatively minor, we tried to contact you and say, hey, we didn't get this. Check your email. Other common reasons, we allowed one submission for the whole bounty, and we had to kind of make that clear after week one because we realized that not everybody was reading the fine print. And the biggest thing that we saw is we need to have a Git history requirement. It may have been that you made this and redid it, but we looked at your Git history first as a qualifier to say, hey, are we going to dig deep into this project? If you only had like 2 or 3 commits and it was large sets of files, that looks to us like, even if you were vibe coding and you forgot to write commit, that looks to us like you're uploading a previous project and you haven't added anything within the campaign. So we unfortunately had to disqualify quite a few of these because you didn't do what we asked you to do, which is show with a Git history with multiple commits that you are creating and building this as you go. Now let's get to the fun part. And then I'll ask Peter and Narb as well to give a lot of feedback on these as well, because they spend a lot of time looking at these. So here are our weeks. Week 1 was really basic. All we were asking is use Hedera Agent Kit and make something fun and basic. So that was our lowest level bounty. The second one was create an enterprise agent and use a plugin. So we have some plugins available in the Hedera Agent Kit to allow you to connect to other software or services. Week 3, use our MCP or the Blocky Devs X402 facilitator, or build your own X402 facilitator and build an agent with that. This is the only one where it wasn't a hard requirement that you use the Hedera Agent Kit. Week 4, create an agent that is really concentrated on commerce and starting to use some of those industry standards. So AI agents aren't just popular in Web3, they're popular across industries, and a lot of different industries and organizations are making standards around that. So what we're asking and looking for is the use of some of these standards. And the last one is the Hedera Policy Agent, and that was the biggest one because within the Hedera Agent Kit, there's the biggest bounty because we are asking you to do more. We have the ability to write in what's known as hooks and policies within our Hedera Agent Kit. So what we asked you to do is make a modification to the actual agent kit itself, and then build an AI agent that uses these policies. One thing that wasn't super obvious on the website, because we're so focused on, what are people doing across the industry, we gave a bonus bounty for the best use of cross-industry standards of $250, which we'll announce. So let's get into it. Week 1, we wanted something simple, delightful, easy, and fun on top of the Hedera Agent Kit, and this is key. You're looking for meaningful use of the Hedera Agent Kit. You really use that kit and didn't just sort of artificially or superficially include it in your project code. So this one was very basic and easy. And drum roll, please. The winner of this was Hedera by Farouk Alani. Peter, Narab, you guys want to talk about this?
Sure. So like Lindsay mentioned, the idea behind the first week was something fun and simple, and Farouk did an amazing job. Like everyone was pretty impressed by that, because basically if you have a silly dispute, you can use the Hedera accord, pay 0.5 HBAR to like have a dispute. NARP can also pay 0.5 HBAR, and 37-year-old lady will judge who was right. It uses the Hedera agent kit in a very clean way. Everything is logged into the Hedera consensus service. So overall, a great way to solve disputes in your friends group. So it's really cool.
100%. I've seen different types of implementations of this in the past over the years. And I had fun every time playing around and looking into the results. So yes, well done, Farouk.
All right, congrats, Farouk. Keep an eye out in your email. We'll be contacting you about these bounties as well. All right, week 2. This is our enterprise agent. So we wanted to think about, how different businesses might use an AI agent. We wanted you to use a plugin. You don't have to build one for this, but add a plugin, add something like Saucer Swap or the MPP plugin or whatever is available in our Hedera agent kit, or you could use one you built. It has to use at least 2 of our tools from the Hedera agent kit. So non-query tools, so not just querying things, but, send a transaction, create a token, whatever it might be from the Hedera agent kit. And most importantly, we have to complete a commercial transaction. So we want to start to show how the Hedera agent kit can be used for payments, KYC, custody, tokenization. And the winner of this one, drum roll please, is Promo Proof. And I was actually really impressed with this one. I thought it was a really solid use of a way an enterprise and somebody else might like this. It recorded a contract between 2 parties, first of all. And then the human also has to submit proof. And in this one, it was really interesting because it was a photo proof, and then they used video or image recognition technology. And the AI sort of analyzes really closely what the contract said, and then analyzes the proof and brings a verdict on this. Peter, Narb, anything you want to add?
Yeah, sure. So what was cool for me and our team was that basically we really think that this is a very cool product idea that maybe could even work in the future in the real world. So we really like that. And as Lindsay mentioned, in this week you only needed to use a plugin, but this submission created its own plugin to record everything. So this is overall a pretty good submission. Especially, you don't see it here, but the whole process sets quite a lot of audit trails, logs. So it's really like the person was thinking how to make an enterprise great project. So this was cool.
Yeah, 100% agree. I don't know if I can add much onto that, but yeah, this is one of those ones where you really tell the person nerded out, and we nerded out with them while reviewing.
Yeah, this person probably could have even maybe won our week 4 one as well, but this is a real agentic flow and a real use case. And I think this is a really good example of how you could build trust into, like, I don't trust anything an AI agent does completely on its own, but using this software, you could have an AI agent do some of the work for you, quickly and easily review, okay, it reviewed the contract, and this is the evidence that it has of, did you fulfill the contract? So it's a really good example of how we could actually start to enable agents to do really sort of more high stakes work for us and be able to quickly review it as a user and say, hey, I agree with this. So great job, Nicodem. We're really excited about this one. If you haven't already, I also would encourage you to submit this plugin so that other people can use your SDK. I believe he developed an SDK, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, so other people can use this if they want to develop on it further. So yeah, it'll come up with a a final verdict and reasoning, and the user can review it at the end. So great job. Next one, we have a Hedera hosted MCP and the Hedera Agent Kit, or you could use an X402 facilitator like the Blocky Devs Blocky 402 facilitator, or your own. Anybody can host a facilitator. There's a reference implementation of it in the X402 spec and our exact schema. We just want you to use one of these things to create a paid action. This is one of the ones where you didn't have to use the Hedera Agent Kit. You just had to show how you would do something on the Hedera network and use a payment or trade execution flow. You're looking for publicly hosted agents as well. So drum roll, the winner of week 3 is August HBAR. So this is a AI-powered smart contract security auditor. You paste in your smart contract auditing. You can choose the different types of analysis that you want to do on your smart contract. And you get an audit report and a risk score for that. So this is a really good actual business model. You pay per check with HBAR via the X402 protocol. And then as the results come in, they stream live, and then a PDF is returned at the end. All evidence is also anchored on chain. So that way, if you have maybe a smart contract that you are wanting other people to use, you could post it's a very good way of posting the proof that you have an audit trail and that it's been checked. Peter and Narb, anything to add?
Narb, do you want to start this time?
Sure. This one, from my perspective, is a practical use case of AI. I don't know if people, how much people are utilizing AI these days to do simple security scans, but I think it's good enough to at least give you that first pass, and paying for it per scan is much more affordable than if you go through at least a big audit, or at least this is a good way to go and do a first step before plunging into that. And just implementation wise, I think the team was quite impressed with how you got put all the puzzle pieces together, and had a good working demo as well. Peter, anything to add?
Yeah, every time I see projects like that, I know that I will or would use them, because you could do it yourself, but it's quite an effort. And if you have a website where you can just pay the X402 to have your smart contract just pre-checked or a sanity check, then that's a really good use case for a very simple and usable tool. So great work.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a really great demo as well that we enjoyed looking through. All right, moving on to the next one, week 4. So this is the one where we started saying, hey, what other cross-industry standards could we bring in here? Obviously, we wanted some sort of commercial action, payment in HBAR or other token. We wanted to see a hosted UI, chat interface, wallet integration. So this is a more complex one. Also, one of our higher payer bounties. We suggested using something like AP2, which is Google's payment protocol. It's a way of sort of creating a verified trail that the human and the merchant each wanted to purchase something and what they agreed to. And then there's Universal Commerce Protocol, or I believe it's Agentic Commerce Protocol, which are 2 different protocols by 2 different groups that talk about tell you how you can kind of do that actual checkout flow with AI agents, or machine payments protocol, which is similar to X402, but it's a little bit more extended. You can use any type of payment with that. So again, we wanted something publicly hosted, something we could check out. And the winner for this one, and I think there was a lot of debate over this, is Poku. So Poku will help you find data sets for ML training. one of the main reasons that we selected this is it made actual good, meaningful, well-implemented use of the Agentic Payments Protocol library and actively tried to adapt this to the Hedera needs. It also implemented MPP reasonably well. I'm going to pass this off to Peter and Narb as well, because they both did a bit deeper of a dive on this.
Sure. Yeah. Just from a use case perspective, yeah, I think a lot of different teams have been trying to do, not just beyond this hackathon, have been trying to do something similar in the decentralized science space, and trying to really share all this data for other people to train their models with, and people sharing this data should get paid for that versus getting scraped for free. So we really thought this was a neat and practical use case, just like the others. And yeah, like Lindsay mentioned, there was a lot of debate on this week because there's a lot of quality submissions. But yeah, we landed on Poku. Peter?
What can I add? The project is really ambitious. We can discuss if like training models on chain is the future or not, but the project is really ambitious. They made a lot of effort to implement MPP in a correct way. They use the official Python library, which has some problems, and they tried to overcome the challenges. So the work or the effort was really impressive. So congratulations, great job.
Yeah, great job. It was hard to it was hard to choose for this one. I think in the end, we sort of said, all right, who is doing the best job of meaningfully integrating these industry standards? But great work, and great work to everybody who entered in this one. All right. And the last but not least of the bounties is our Hedera policy agent. So one of the things that we're especially excited about the Hedera agent kit is within that SDK, we made it possible for you to put your limits and guardrails deterministically on your agent. So instead of having the agent make decisions about whether it's going to do something or not, you can write into the agent's code in the before and after the hook calling the ability to either stop or maybe track or create an audit trail in between the tool calling. So we ask that you modify the Hedera agent kit a little bit, put in these hooks and policies to constrain agent behavior or record agent behavior while still enabling payments in HBAR, USDC on HBAR, those sort of things. Examples, you could put spend limits, say who's allowed to do this, either pay or receive, or approval logic, right? Did this meet a limit or a goal? So we were looking for practical use cases where they purchase real services or APIs, which is really hard because those don't really exist very much yet. And we wanted to see a good policy layer into the interface and execution. We want the end user to know that they have control over this. Okay. And drum roll, please. And I think this is one we were really impressed with, is Curb by Madev. And I think we thought that this one was really, it's sort of some of the stuff goes along the lines of what we're starting to build now that we have these tools. We're starting to build additional tooling on top of this, and it is similar to it. Narb, do you want to talk a little bit more about this? Because I know you did a deep dive on it.
For sure. Yes, like Lindsay mentioned, this was one of the more thoroughly implemented solutions, just from an architectural standpoint. I dug how the implementer went about creating the solution. There was custom policies, custom hooks, smart contract enabled spend policies and guardrails, even docs. Big pro tip nowadays, you have AI, it's very easy to spin up docs. So you should always spin up docs for reviewers to go through. But yeah, overall, very impressed with this submission. Peter, off to you.
So I would say, like Lindsay mentioned, and also we are really impressed. And this is, it goes in the direction that we are building currently. So we really appreciate that effort. And yeah, the project looks nice. published an NPM library. So if somebody wants to govern his own agents to not overspend, I think a curb is a pretty well suited solution, and hey, it works.
Yeah, and it sounds like they did something really smart, which is 3 layers of security. So there's those local hooks within the Hedera Agent Kit, and then they stored the state on HCS. So as things are occurring, everything is getting put into an audit log on HCS. And they even launched a smart contract that holds assets and acts as a payment gate, which we thought is a really great idea. So big shout out to Kur by Madhav. I would check out his project. It's a really interesting implementation of the Hedera Agent Kit and the policies and things like that. And you can even see every policy change as well within this interface. So, all right. Last, so those are our big winners, but we did have an honorable mention that we wanted to shout out. So we had a bonus bounty in this. And this is the best application of those industry standards. And we wanted to give a big shout out to Tom Robotham. He had actually contributed a while ago, out of the goodness of his own heart, an MPP Hedera, the MPP Hedera plugin, and had drafted a spec for the MPP protocol on Hedera. So what he'd done in the past already had created an NPM SDK that enables you to follow the MPP protocol for charge, session, payment intents. And then he created a plugin for the Hedera Agent Kit, and you can even see that in our Visual Explorer for the Agent Kit, which is the Agent Lab and the Developer Portal. And then demonstrated how that can be used with the Hedera Stream Channel Solidity Smart Contract for escrow. And he built a small agent on this. We would have liked him to give him even more of a shout out, but there were just so many other agents that were done really, really well. But we wanted to give a big shout out to Tom because he'd done a lot of work already contributing to the Hedera Agent Kit, and we were so excited to see what he had contributed. So congrats and thank you to all the winners. We're almost out of time here. Another thing I want to mention, even this is just JS. There were 88 pieces of feedback, which we're working on looking at and addressing. So thank you so much for contributing to the Hedera Agent Kit and helping make it better. Also, if you created a plugin, go to the docs, depending on which SDK you did, look under the Agent Kit in JavaScript or Python, and we have instructions to register your plugin. We would love to get these officially created in the Hedera Agent Kit. So if you publish your plugin, make a PR, we will review it, we will contact you, and we'd love to get it as an official part of the Hedera Agent Kit. We only have about 1 minute, so I'm going to say this really quickly. We're going to reach out via email to the winners of this. There's a few things that we'll need you to do. One of those is we're going to do a test transfer to validate that you guys have the correct, that you guys have given us the correct account and that we're not sending these prizes out into the ether. So make sure that you monitor your email. We'll be sending a test deposit, and then we'll be sending it out. Note that the prize dispersal in HBAR will be based on a running day average of the 30 days before today. If we're unable to contact you within 30 days, that's a prize forfeiture. So make sure that you do that. And then we may ask for documentation and or tax information in order to be in compliance with everything. But congratulations, you all. Thank you so much for the amazing contributions. And, I've been doing a lot of research about this, and I think this is a really big moment. This is, I think, a big opportunity for Web3 technologies to take the front running in the new agentic paradigm. Before long, nearly all retailers will have to grapple with the fact that their customers will not be human, but AI agents. We have a great, very speedy, very efficient technology for enabling this agentic commerce. And even those of you who are making small contributions are going to help shape the future. So congrats to everybody who built amazing things. And that's a wrap. Go to aibounties.hedera.com and you can see a listing of all of our qualified entries. We have each week listed out there, and we'll keep that up for quite a while so that everybody can see the amazing things that were built during the AI bounties.
Well done, everyone. Keep building.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, and to the next time.
Introducing the Hedera AI Agent Kit, the easiest way to build intelligent on-chain agents. Designed for developers, it's a modular, open-source toolkit to build, deploy, and scale trusted AI agents on Hedera, powering a more connected digital economy. With the AI Agent Kit, you can build agents integrated with industry-leading LLMs. Use industry-standard tools like LangChain, Vercel, AI SDK, Eliza OS, or MCP to build agents that do more than just talk. From concept to deployment. Agents built with the kit can create tokens through the Hedera token service, sign and send transactions, post to the Hedera consensus service, and call smart contracts, all autonomously or with human oversight. Thanks to Hedera's fixed fees, security, and fast finality, agents run with the predictability and performance needed for real-world applications. Most importantly, everything is verifiable. Each action your agent takes can be logged on-chain using Hedera Consensus Service, enabling trust, auditability, and compliance. With pre-built plugins, connecting your agents to decentralized exchanges and lending protocols is easier than ever, enabling autonomous DeFi operations out of the box. Intelligent agents, verified actions, transparent results. This is where scalable AI meets decentralized trust. What future will you build?